morning and welcome to another informative episode of Housing Development. As always, I am your Housing Diva, Flora Ani. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, at the 10th meeting of the National Council on Lands, Housing and Urban Development held in Lagos State, advised state government to enact laws to make mandatory monthly rent payment to make housing more available to Nigerian masses. There has been mixed reactions from stakeholders, landlords, and even tenants on this. Stay tuned as we discuss these and more, and also get to see the reactions of Nigerians on the statement made by the minister right after the trending news in the sector. I'll be right back.
With the advent of high prices of iron rods in the construction industry, experts have endorsed the use of bamboo as an effective replacement for steel in reinforced concrete. According to the experts, the adoption of bamboo, if approved by the authorities, would revolutionize the building industry and finally provide an alternative to the monopoly of reinforced concrete. The Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, Zurich, is developing a bamboo composite called the Bamboo Tech, which they believe can replace steel with its strength, high versatility, and durability. Mr. Charles Oresawo, an engineer, cautioned on the use of the material without adequate research. He further stated that the bamboo ought to have been sanded with bitumen to allow the bamboo to bond properly with concrete. If the concrete is well compacted with the bamboo, it is workable. If not, it will be a disaster. The Lagos State government has ordered immediate suspension of development along alignments of the ongoing regional road, particularly Shakbata near the Victoria Garden City, VGC. During a routine monitoring visit, the Commissioner for Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, Dr. Idris Salako, decried the alarming rate of illegal and haphazard development going on along Harrison Drive, Shapata, behind VGC in Lekki. Dr. Salako, who issued a suspension order on fresh developments, insisted on prompt compliance with the directive, warning that the state government would not hesitate to remove any illegal development. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has stated that Nigeria's future is hinged on the roles played in ensuring natural resources are properly planned and managed. Fashola made this disclosure in his keynote address at the opening ceremony of the yearly general meeting of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners (NITP) in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. He expressed regret that most public servants give less priority to urban and town planners in favor of economic planners. He argued that people's quality of life is dependent on how they plan their environment. The minister, however, charged the institute to ensure major cities in the country are well planned. The NITP president, Olutoyin Ayinde, blamed the institute's non-prominence on the failure of leaders to understand why physical planning is important. Ayinde argued that public servants fail to connect the nexus between physical and economic planning, which has resulted in the logjam in governance. A 21-story building has collapsed in upmarket Ikoyi in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital and most populous city. The collapsed structure is on Gerrard Road, Ikoyi. Report says the building was under construction. It is unclear just how many persons are trapped under the rubble at the time of reporting. Television footage shows young men miling round the site. We will file updates to this story in subsequent news items. Building collapse is commonplace in densely populated Lagos.
For more housing, construction and finance news, visit www.africanhousingnews.com. The construction industry is a vital part of a nation's economy, and the government must play a vital role in the delivery of housing provision. Well, for people who pay rent, of course, it is their dream to become landlords someday. But this will take a lot of conscious effort with the present economic situation of the country. However, a vast majority of the population live in rented apartments, groaning under the weight of rent. Reacting to the statement made by the Minister for Works and Housing on monthly rent payment, these stakeholders have this to say.
Experts in the built environment sector, tenants and landlords have not stopped expressing mixed feelings over the proposal by the Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, calling on states to enact laws on the monthly rent repayment. According to him, economic indicators have shown that payment for a year or more in arrears affected affordability, thereby increasing shelter gap, hence the need for legislation. Reacting to this, Prince Oluseyi Lufadeju, Chairman Board of Trustee, Redden, says the outcry and worrying by people over the resolve is not necessary, as both systems are being operated in Nigeria at the present.
I do not really see why the outcry, why people are worried about paying rents in monthly or yearly. Because in any case, both systems are in operation in the country at the present moment. Some people are paying monthly, some people are paying yearly. So it depends on who is talking, who wants to determine whether to pay rent either monthly or yearly. If it's the developer, the landlord, the person who is building properties for rent and for sale, of course, such a person will prefer to get his rent yearly, because then he will have opportunity to have bulk money to continue development. He will have less problems in terms of administration of rent on a monthly basis or on a yearly basis. And of course, it makes it easy for him to ensure that there is full utilization of the property for the full year instead of having just for a few months.
He, however, pins the problem on shortage of houses, stating that the system should be flexible and left to the market forces to determine.
The whole problem is due to shortage of accommodation. If we have sufficient properties and everybody has access, the problem will not be there, it will not linger. And I think it has to do with the development of our credit system. If people have a credit rating that will ensure that they are in a position to pay their rent, there won't be any problem, there won't be any need for the landlord to be asking for yearly payment, because he knows that the rent payment is guaranteed because the person has a good rating. In terms of having good credit, he will not default in payment of rent.
Mrs. Erizua Agbontine, a resident of FCT, in her reaction, says what is necessary at this point is for the government to make our laws people-friendly, as this will help the common man.
I think it's for us to make our laws and our initiatives people-friendly, because everybody is not a pauper in Nigeria, and everybody is not a millionaire. So we look at it. Where do the majority of the people stand? And it is what is people-friendly. A man who lives in a penthouse, in a skyscraper, will not even be thinking of paying monthly because he has other things to do with his money. But there are those of us who don't live in penthouses, but live in, well, houses for the masses. And the truth is that you don't pay rent from the money you have not earned.
While many condemn the idea on the basis of lack of institution and delaying court judgments to support monthly rent payments in the case of default, few are of the opinion that Nigeria cannot operate in isolation, saying it is the practice globally.
A retired civil servant there, Mrs. Erizua, she says government should make our laws people-friendly on same issue of enacting laws on mandatory monthly rent payment. The ICPC chairman, during a public hearing in Abuja, says rather than state government to enact such a law, government should rather focus more on introducing policies that encourages massive production of houses and infrastructures. Take a listen.
Aside from the petitions received by the Commission, there are other noticeable problems of real estate development in Abuja, in particular in Nigeria as a whole. These include generally the high cost of home acquisition, the unstable capital market, environmental, social, and governance factors, currency volatility, increased rural to urban migration, ineffective property protection laws, perceived multiple tax and poor building quality, etc. While some of these challenges may be tackled by legislative and executive laws and policies, others are strictly based on the interplay of economic forces. I'm not unaware, of course, by some stakeholders for laws to compel house owners to collect monthly rent rather than sometimes annual or 2-year rent. Now, while this will be in line with the economic realities of potential tenants, because nobody gets their salary 1 year in advance, people get their salaries monthly. Nevertheless, past experience shows that such laws are not enforceable, as they can easily be undermined by the parties as demand for housing outstrips supply. Therefore, government should focus on introducing policies to encourage massive home production, infrastructure and incentives, and effective law enforcement to positively impact home production through public and private partnerships.
I'm Debbie Erb. I work for OPIC in the United States, and keep watching the Affordable Housing Development Program.
What is the name of my grandson?
Suleiman.
That's a good name. May the Almighty preserve him.
Amin.
Now that your family is growing, this is the time for you to start thinking of a house of your own.
Abba, the thought of this has always been on my mind. To build a house now, you need a lot of money, and that is what is holding me back.
Sonny, what you need is a mortgage. NHF mortgage loan. With NHF mortgage loan, you own a house upfront and pay gradually over a long period of time.
Abba, I will go to the FMBN office right away.
Come join us at FMBN and let's shelter Nigeria together.
Welcome back. The program is Housing Development. Now let's move on to the streets. Which method of payment is more convenient for renters, by the way? Let's find out on Voices on the Street.
To me, based on my experience so far here, I prefer the quarterly or annually payment, because paying monthly, once you are out of job for a month, so you will need to pack out. But quarterly, it will give you time to prepare.
The time when I entered the first time, I pay 1 year. Now the other year, I used to pay 6 months. If you pay 1 year, almost 12 months, you are resting about 12 months before you pay another 1 year.
I prefer the yearly plan because I'm a baker. Because I don't have guarantee of baking every time to save money enough to pay for the monthly month. Because if say you want to pay monthly, what if you don't have enough income that same month? That means you cannot pay your rent. But if you can bake, if I can pay for that 1 year, I'm free from the stress of the many months.
I would say I wouldn't go with monthly payments, because monthly payments have a lot of disadvantages. Okay, imagine you're working and you get your salary at the end of the month. Imagine your employee sacks you. How would you pay for your rent? So I would say I wouldn't go with monthly payment, and yearly payment as well. I don't go with monthly payment. I would prefer we do quarterly payment. That's we divide the payments into 4. That I have time, enough time to maybe, work, gather my rent, and pay to the landlord to prevent any unforeseen circumstances.
Voices on the street there, you've heard the opinions of some Nigerians on which payment plan is the best for them when it comes to house rent in Nigeria. It should be all about the voice of the people. I'll be back in a moment.
What if I told you you could find paradise in the Niger Delta? What if I told you you could find real estate that you desire that is world-class in the Niger Delta? And I tell you, look no further, the Plantation City Estate Development by Delta Mega Trends Nigeria Limited is just what you need. They've got a well-structured and smart building plans, 24 hours uninterrupted power, constant water supply, 24 hours pharmacy, a bank, a shopping mall, lounges, well-secured entrance, automated gate, access road, police station, well-paved roads, street light, fantastic green areas, green ambience, park for adults and children, and a good spot for customer service support. And it's just amazing that all of this is happening in the Niger Delta in Otokutu Warri Delta State, where you have instantly about 18% return on investment for every property you buy. Hurry today and be part of the paradise going on in the Niger Delta by calling these numbers 0802-808-8144 or visit www.deltamegatrend.ng. Plantation City, your dream city in nature.
You're watching Housing Development. Now, while we talk of rent payment, how convenient, how comfortable are some of these houses renters pay for as shelter? Housing Development crew visited a community in Abuja to see their living conditions. Let's have a look.
The Housing Development crew got there in the heat of the afternoon to get a clearer picture of what life truly looks like in Apo-Dutse community. The community is home to different individuals of different tribes who share one thing in common, that is, living in deplorable condition.
The problem we have here in Dutse, Apo-Dutse, is security challenges and water challenges. In fact, we have not road. We don't have road. Where you go to junction, example, as I'm talking to you, you will see a lot of dirt. In fact, everywhere they hold Dutse entirely. Where you ask where you go deeply, you will see again. They have nowhere to throw all those dirt. I'm asking government to come, begging government to come and help us here in Apo-Dutse.
This compound like this, we don't have toilet. If you enter my shop, you see water is leaking inside the shop. Rainfall yesterday in the night. You can see the environment. It's very bad, dirty everywhere.
A resident expressed his displeasure about the lack of good access roads, complaining about the unmotorable and poor condition of the roads, mainly during the raining season. He communicated his disappointment in the state of the school located in Apo-Dutse, saying the environment was filthy and unkempt. Furthermore, he drew the attention of the Housing Development Media crew to the porous nature of the community in terms of insecurity, while calling for the intervention of the government in helping the people living in the community.
One, we don't have access road. Why? Because when it's rainy season, coming to Dutse is just like going to desert. So the living condition in this area does not look as if people living here in the FCT. Then, in terms of the security, everybody's on his own. Whatever you see, you come in the day and find out is. So the security is very poor. So those things are what made this area that looks very ugly. Even the school environment, the same thing. If you go around the school now, you see that everywhere is dirty. So the community, though the chief has been trying to the little one he can be able to do, but he has not, there's no way without the government coming to assist the people living in the area. So that's the problem one of the problems that we have in this community.
Life might seem just normal as many homes and families are made here in spite of the clear lack of infrastructure and poverty in Apo-Dutse, a slum in the very heart of the capital.
You will agree with me that the producer community in the Federal Capital Territory is in their need of infrastructures and basic amenities for a better living environment. Up next is our Woman Crush Wednesday. She's a gorgeous woman who is intelligent and very industrious.
Introducing our Woman Crush Wednesday, Mrs. Medina Olufalake Huthman. She is a wife and a loving mother. This gorgeous woman is intelligent and very industrious. Medina Huthman is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. She holds a BSc in economics and majoring in accounting and financial management from the University of Buckingham, England. Her working career started at Ikoyi Hotels Limited, having completed her youth service year. She was employed and held various management posts, culminating as the financial controller. She is the managing director of Hexel Ventures Limited, a procurement and logistics company. She is also the executive director, operations of Hydrofarm Engineering Nigeria Limited. In the 20 years Medina has worked in the procurement and build industry, she has overseen the following: providing hydrofarm machines and accessories to several states to help them achieve their mass housing objectives. Such states include Ogun, Yobe, Rivers, FCT, amongst others. She has also served on several committees of Redden. Medina has traveled widely in Africa, Europe, and the United States. This interesting woman is a fan of Manchester United Football Club, and she enjoys aerobics. Now, you would agree with me that Mrs. Medina Olufalake Huthman deserves to be celebrated as our woman crush this Wednesday.
Our Woman Crush Wednesday segment is open for sponsorship. Let's display your brand as we celebrate our women. You can call 081-665-70090 or send a mail to housingprogramonait@gmail.com. Who deserves to be celebrated in the housing, construction, and finance industry at the prestigious Nigeria's Housing Awards? Let the countdown begin as you vote for your preferred choice now via the website displayed on your screen.
It is time to celebrate excellence in the housing and construction industry. Who deserves the special recognition for excellence? Here are the categories. President of Professional Bodies, Nigeria Housing Person of the Year, Housing Friendly Governor of the Year, Affordable Housing Person of the Year, CEO of Real Estate Company of the Year, Mortgage Bank of the Year, Cement Company of the Year, Housing Finance Personality of the Year, Affordable Housing Project of the Year, Commissioner for Housing of the Year, Best NGO in Housing Sector of the Year, Real Estate Developer of the Year, Smart City Development Company of the Year, Housing Events of the Year, ICT Supports for Housing of the Year, CEO Mortgage Bank of the Year, Housing Friendly Legislator of the Year, Best Architectural Design for Housing Project of the Year, Affordable Housing Champion of the Year, Housing Friendly Commercial Bank of the Year, Housing Program of the Year, Housing Friendly TV Station of the Year, Housing Friendly Newspaper of the Year, Housing Reporter of the Year. Let's celebrate the best in our sector. Let's promote excellence in all aspects of the Nigerian housing and construction industry.
And the award goes to
Many Many thanks for watching Housing Development. You can watch today's episode over again and previous ones on the YouTube channel Housing TV Africa. I remain your housing diva, Fleur Ani. See you soon.